Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding an extra $500 in your bank account. Sounds great, right? Now imagine someone else wakes up and makes $50,000. Not because they worked harder that day, not because they worked longer hours, but simply because they owned the right investments. That's the difference most people never think about. We're taught that working hard leads to wealth. And while hard work definitely matters, it's only part of the story. Because once you understand how money actually works, you'll realize something surprising. The rich don't just earn money. Their money earns money. And that's why, year after year, they often end up even wealthier. So why does this happen? Let's break it down. Most of us grow up believing one simple equation. Work harder, earn more, become rich. It sounds logical, but if that were completely true, then construction workers, nurses working double shifts, and people juggling 2 jobs would be among the wealthiest people in society. Many aren't. Why? Because income and wealth are 2 completely different things. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you own. Think about it this way. Imagine 2 friends. Sarah earns $90,000 a year. She spends almost everything she makes. New car, luxury apartment, designer clothes, expensive vacations. Then there's David. He earns only $70,000, but every month, he invests part of his paycheck into index funds and slowly builds a portfolio. 10 years later, Sarah still needs her next paycheck. David's investments are generating income even while he sleeps. Same decade, different outcome. The difference wasn't salary, it was ownership. Here's something schools rarely teach. There are only 2 ways to make money. You either sell your time or own something that makes money. Most people only know the first option. They trade hours for dollars. If they stop working, the income stops. But wealthy people focus on the second option. They own businesses, stocks, real estate, intellectual property, things that continue producing value long after the work has been done. Imagine owning just a tiny piece of hundreds of successful companies. Every time those companies grow, your investment can grow too. You're no longer working only for money. Money starts working for you, and that's an entirely different game. Now let's talk about the force that's quietly creating millionaires every single day. Compounding. At first, it feels painfully slow. You invest a little, your money grows a little, nothing exciting happens. Many people quit here. But compounding doesn't reward impatience. It rewards consistency. Imagine rolling a tiny snowball down a hill. At first, almost nothing happens. Then it gets slightly bigger, then bigger. Eventually, it becomes impossible to stop. Money works the same way. The first $10,000 is difficult. The first $100,000 is even harder. But after that, growth begins accelerating because your investments start producing returns, and those returns begin producing their own returns. That's the part most people never see. Here's something interesting. Imagine the stock market suddenly drops by 30%. Most people panic. Some are forced to sell because they need cash. But wealthy investors often do the opposite. They buy. Why? Because they have something incredibly valuable: cash. Having money available during difficult times creates opportunities that simply don't exist when you're living paycheck to paycheck. This isn't about intelligence. It's about flexibility. Money gives you choices. And choices often lead to even more opportunities. It's much easier to think long-term when today's bills are already covered. Not everyone starts from the same place. Some people inherit wealth. Some inherit debt. Some grow up learning about investing around the dinner table. Others don't hear the word investing until adulthood. Access matters. Knowledge matters. Connections matter. But here's what's encouraging. Unlike your starting point, your financial habits are something you can control. You don't need millions to begin thinking like an investor. You just need to start. Because every investor, even the world's richest, had a first investment.
This is one of the hardest realities to accept. Sometimes having less money is actually more expensive. If your washing machine breaks and you don't have savings, you might use a credit card. Now you're paying interest. Next month, another emergency happens. More debt, more interest. Meanwhile, someone with savings simply pays the bill and moves on. Same problem, completely different financial outcome.
That's why building even a small emergency fund can be one of the smartest financial decisions you ever make. It doesn't make you rich overnight, but it helps prevent small setbacks from becoming long-term financial problems. By now you might be wondering, okay, but what does this mean for me? Here's the good news. You don't need to own skyscrapers. You don't need a six-figure salary. You don't need to become the next billionaire. The habits that build wealth are surprisingly ordinary. Spend less than you earn. Invest consistently. Avoid unnecessary high-interest debt. Increase your skills. Be patient. Most people underestimate what 10 years of consistent investing can accomplish, and they dramatically overestimate what can happen in a single month. Wealth is usually built quietly, not with one lucky break, but with thousands of small decisions repeated over time. So why do the rich keep getting richer? Because wealth has momentum. Assets create income. Income buys more assets. Compounding speeds everything up, and every smart financial decision makes the next one a little easier. The truth is, the goal isn't to become rich overnight. The goal is to build a financial life where your money slowly begins doing more of the work than you do. That journey doesn't start with millions. It starts with one decision, one investment, one habit, and enough patience to let time do what it has always done best. If you found this video valuable, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos on money, investing, and building long-term wealth, and let me know in the comments, if someone gave you $10,000 today, would you spend it or invest it? I'm curious to hear your answer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.